This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael. I'm stuck in a haunted movie theater, and I've seen Burder, a short animated comedy from 2021 directed by Charlie Hankin. It follows a man of ambiguous age named Nick Bird, an avid bird watcher who loves birds so much that he changed his name to Bird. However, as he relates to us in an odd and unusually honest story, Nick no longer watches birds after a disturbing incident which nearly cost him his life. You see, during a birdwatching session, Nick had witnessed a murder. It wasn't an average murder, of course, but a bird murdering another bird. That's where the title comes from, you see. Anyways, he was the only witness, and from there he's on the run, though the assailant isn't far behind at all, leading to a showdown that's simultaneously hardcore and awkward for everybody around. It's a silly little short, and the filmmakers know it, so from the start there's a highly comedic tone on display, setting up Nick as a relatively unreliable narrator, or at least an unusual one. He does lean into being a bit of an annoyance, which seems to be the idea in general, but takes some time to get used to. I feel like the movie gets distracted from its central idea because of its focus on Nick, though it is probably the case that this story is meant to be more about him than the titular murder. Whatever it is, I can tell you that there isn't much in the way of the actual bird murder element or its fallout, even after Nick gets caught as a witness. There is a fight, but it comes about almost because it has to, rather than as the result of a chase or some other antics within the story. And its outcome is, again, more about Nick and his warped perspective of events. I feel like that might have come through better if the movie had focused either entirely upon him, maybe with more of his ironic narration, or if he had been silent and let his character play out through actions, like physical comedy. Otherwise, the short is pretty well made, definitely driven towards visual comedy and timing over much else. The art design is very much cartoonish, which helps with tonal irony as events start to turn a bit more violent. Editing is also tuned in well towards the comedic timing, which keeps things moving fast, resulting in a short story, but one which gets to the point. That's probably a bit of a stretch when it comes to stuff to talk about, at least from my perspective. For the most part, this short is kind of mid. It's not great, but it's far from bad. Its flaws are forgivable, and it's still pretty fun. I guess that is just another short that I feel like could have gone in one direction, but went in another, and ends up suffering a bit for it. Burder, Charlie Hankin, 2021. 2.5 stars. I suppose I would still give it a recommendation. On my list of shorts from 2021, I'd put it between Calabasas 12620 and Monsieur Cashmere. That's it for this review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. I do wonder what would lead into a bird murdering another bird. That might be an interesting short in itself. Then again, I'm sure that story already exists in some form somewhere.